Okay then, ladies and gentlemen, people in between, welcome back to the second semi-final of the Sanitarium Winter Open Hearthstone tournament. Obviously, we've just seen the semi-final, which Izzy Kakarot won and went through to the final, and now we're going to have the second semi, that is going to be Agtheo versus Mikematrix. And if you'll give me a few minutes, we will be setting up now for the match. Unfortunately, as you can hear, I'm on my own now. Dime unfortunately had to leave us. Well, that's fine. I'm here and I can handle a commentary. I can handle a commentary by myself. I mean, obviously it'd be nice to have somebody to bounce off, but you're not always going to be able to do that. So if we just sorry, I will switch over in a minute. Just trying to make sure that the people are loading in before I switch this over. And here we go. First match, Agtheo versus Mikematrix. Mike starting off with a mage, Agtheo going with a priest deck. Well, it looks like a dragon priest deck as well. Okay then. So Mike has the first turn. It looks as if this might be one of those decks that makes use of the Archmage to generate fireballs. Mike, of course, being nice and polite, exchanging greetings with Agtheo. It's a good polite way to start off a Hearthstone match. Agtheo chooses to start off with the Northshire Cleric, of course, which has the ability to to draw a card whenever a minion is healed. Mike starts off with the Mana Worm, comboing it with the Arcane Missiles to generate a little bit more power. None of those went to the Cleric, which is good for Mike, because it does actually mean that Agtheo won't be able to draw a card from it. Although still, buffing up its health means that there's been some card draw going on. Oh, there we go. Lesser heal generates more card draw. So it's exactly what you want to do with a Cleric. See, what is Mike going to do with his hand now? 3 mana. Sorcerer's Apprentice to lower the cost of the Unstable Portal. Powers up the Mana Worm even more. Brings across the Cruel Taskmaster.
Back to work.
Backs the Mana Worm and powers it up. Mana Worm down, but so is the Cleric. And of course, now the Blackwing Technician powering up off dragons in Agtheo's hand. Now, of course, unfortunately, the Sorcerer's Apprentice doesn't have much advantage for Mike here, because Mike does not actually have any spells in his hand. Let's have another Sorcerer's Apprentice, though. Choosing instead to go to face rather than deal with the Blackwing Technician. And there goes the Sorcerer's Apprentice. The Twilight Guardian is on the field, gaining more power and taunt because of the dragons in Agtheo's hand. Dragon Priest, of course, very strong deck. Definitely seen some of them. Yeah, definitely seen at least one of them in the World Championship this year. A lot of combinations you can get with dragons. Right, Blackwing Technician is off the field, but that taunt is still up there. Mike is going to have to find a way to deal with it. He probably will. Because, I mean, look, he's got the Archmage in hand, Arcane Intellect to draw cards. There are ways out of this. Agtheo now, considering his move, chooses to take off that Taskmaster. Another Technician is on the field. Lesser heal. The taunt is healed back up to full. And Mike has drawn an Arcane Blast, which of course gets double bonus from spell damage.
Someday I'll be just like you.
Bullswood Apprentice is out. Arcane Blast
The Fire Lord.
is now costless. And the Flame Waker, of course, 2 damage to the Technician. Damage has been split, possibly not where he wanted it to go, but we will see. Looking at the hands at the moment, Agtheo has much more in his hand than Mike does in his.
I must consider.
That's a lot of dragons. And the Holy Nova activates. We've got Agtheo's cards, taking care of Mike's cards. And the Whelp getting more health there. And the mirror image is out. Mike has to use his Arcane Intellect, give him a few more options. Mad Scientist out on the field. And is Mike going to use his mana for a mirror image? Or for his spell, or for his hero power? Hero power. What is Agtheo going to do? Mike considering his options for next turn. Agtheo taking some time to consider his options. That's what I just said. Taking care of the Mad Scientist, pulls a secret out onto the field, which is Mirror Entity. Which is the same Whelp buffed up. Same buff. Unfortunately, said Whelp is quite easily taken care of. Healing up the Technician there. Twilight Guardian on the field. Another one to gain power and taunt. And Agtheo has quite the strong board here. We'll see. What is Mike going to do? I have a feeling... I know one thing... Yeah, there we go. I had a feeling he was going to do that. Of course, the spell played means that a fireball has been generated to Mike's hand. Fireballs, very useful mage spells. And can pretty much wipe out that full power Twilight Guardian in one hit.
I wield the power.
The Blackwing Corruptor is out, dealing the 3 damage because Agtheo is holding the dragons.
Mocking me?
Archmage taken down quite fast. Mike has to consider now, what is he going to do? This is a tough battle. Agtheo is currently dominating with his hand, with his board, but his hand is growing low on cards, and 2 of those are very, very high mana cost. So if Mike is able to pull it back, then Mike still has a chance to win this. Choosing to take care of the Corruptor instead. Oh, the Bronzebeard in Agtheo's hand there. Ysera is out on the field. Great big green legendary dragon. It generates dream cards for its player at the end of every turn. And those dream cards are quite amazing. And there's another fireball. Mike plays the counter spell, secret. And has to decide to fireball or not to fireball. This is most certainly the question. Chooses to use a fire blast to damage Ysera. Doesn't choose to play the fireball. Agtheo building his hand back up. I think that's the villain's chosen there at the end. Bran Bronzebeard is now on the field. Agtheo now doing a little bit of hesitating because not entirely sure what that secret is. Goes the whelp in there first. Sensible move, because if that had been the secret that incinerated the attacking creature, then if it turns something bigger at it, he would have lost it, and that would not have been good. And there's the Piloted Shredder, a very useful card, played in many decks.
Well played. You win this.
But Mike has given up. It goes 1-0 now to Agtheo. Well done, Agtheo, on your first win. Of course, we've got more matches to come. You've got to win 2 matches out of the 3 to advance to the final. Now, both competitors now preparing their next decks. Of course, Mike cannot use his mage deck because it has been defeated. Those are the rules. Let's see what they prepare to use now. The chat is the chat is talking about Cho'Gall in Heroes of the Storm. So,
The light shall bring victory.
oh dear.
I must protect the wild.
Agtheo going with the priest deck again. Mike using his druid. As far as hands go, both of them could do with a best. Could have had a better hand, but Agtheo does at least have something to play on the first turn. What is Mike going to do? He does have the coin, of course, so he could use Wrath. Chooses not to, though. Considering his options for next turn, though. When Rest Agent comes out, gets its power up and its taunt from there being a dragon in the hand. Let's see what is Mike going to do. Plays a Zombie Chow. Of course, low cost cards. It does have a drawback, so it's better to just basically use it as soon as you can, so that the disadvantage doesn't hurt you too much. Uses Wrath there to take out that whelp. Windrest Agent takes a hit of the Zombie Chow, another Wild Whelp on the field. And Lesser heals up the agent. Mike doing the advantage of Druid, which is to use his cards to ramp up his mana much faster than it would ordinarily happen. Twilight Whelp takes out the Zombie Chow. The Twilight Guardian on the field also gets its buff. Big Game Hunter there, not exactly that useful in this situation. Mike has to consider his options at this point. What is he going to do? Chooses to use a swipe, takes care of one taunt and a whelp. Of course, the other taunt remains on the field. And he will have to find a way to deal with that, but at least it's better to deal with one taunt than 3 creatures, 2 of which are taunts. Twilight Guardian has been healed back up. There is a Technician on the field. All of the buffs and all the powers are coming along here. Mike has to regain control. How is he going to do it? Considering using Druid of the Claw.
I wonder.
Nope, chooses instead to go for the Piloted Shredder and shapeshifts to gain himself a little bit of armour. Playing a defensive game now. Power World Shield gives the dragon more health and lets Agtheo draw a card. Cruel Taskmaster's not exactly what you wanted to get from the Piloted Shredder. That is unfortunate. Twilight Guardian remains on the field, but Sludge Belcher, we were talking about this yesterday. Sludge Belcher, very, very useful taunt card. You can basically get 2 taunts for the cost of 5 mana. Soaks up an awful lot of damage. Shapeshift again to build up the armour. Let's see. What is Agtheo going to do? Of course, the thing is, Agtheo needs to get through the taunt. Let's raise the technician to do it.
Not quite what was planned.
Oh! Agtheo does still have the big taunt card on the big taunt creature on the field.
Where shall I strike?
And now, Mike uses his Druid of the Claw in bear form. The Shade of Necromus is also on the field. Stealth until it attacks, but it will power up 1/1 every single turn it is on the field. And Chromagius is on the field. 2-headed dragon legendary creature. Of course, Mike does actually have a way to... No, actually he doesn't. Sorry, I thought Chromagius had more health than it actually does. I wasn't looking. So, Mike now considering his options. If Chromagius had just 1 more attack point, then he would have been able to big game hunter it. Considering his options anyway. What are you going to use? Of course, he's got his own legendary there. Considering the Emperor Thesaurius...
What to do?
Considering the Emperor there, I can't pronounce it properly, so please excuse me. Is he going to put out his big legendary?
Time waits for no one.
Whatever he's going to do, you better do it quick. 'Cause time is running out. Big legendary is out, buffing up his creatures. And chooses not to use the shade to finish it off there. Shadow Word Death takes care of that legendary quite fast, and the other one takes care of the bear. Fills up the Twilight Guardian and goes for face. Keeper of the Grove could be used to silence a minion. The question is, if he does, which minion does he silence? Indeed. Considering using the Ancient of Law and restoring health to his hero, the Twilight Guardian is finally out of the way, the shade revealed, and Mike begins to go for Agtheo's face. Chromagius still on the field though, still generating the extra cards for Agtheo. Of course there is a drawback with Chromagius, because it's generating the duplicate cards, there is always a chance that your hand can be filled up. Oh, another Twilight Guardian on the field. 2 Twilight Guardians on the field, they're both golden, both get the buff. 3/6 taunts on the field, 2 of them. And Chromagius there. He's there at half health, but still fairly big a threat. Is Mike now going to use the Emperor and try and get its cost reduction ability going? Yes, he is. Keeper of the Grove is out, and silences Chromagius' ability. No more duplicate cards being generated. Taunts still up though. One of them is very damaged, but they're both still up. Agtheo has a very strong board, but Mike is not out of it yet. Chromagius takes out the Keeper of the Grove. Agtheo considering playing a light bomb. Deal damage to each minion equal to its attack. Wipes out everything but one of his taunts. Blackwing Technician on the field with the buff. Mike draws a mounted raptor, which he chooses to play. Death Rattle ability, of course, will summon a random 1-cost minion for him. The armor's up. Well, shapeshifts to gain a little bit of armor.
I wield the power.
Blackwing Corruptor is on the field, takes out the mounted raptor. The raptor was mounted by Sir Finley Murgleton, who unfortunately gets run over by the technician. And the Azure Drake is on the field, spell damage and a card draw. Jeweled Scarab on the field lets you discover a random 3-cost card, which you have to choose out of 3. Of course, none of those cards too useful at the moment for Mike. He chooses to go with the Druid of the Flames in Firebird form. 2 attack, 5 health. Arms up a little. The Firebird is down. The Jeweled Scarab is down. And Ysera enters the field. Big green Dream Dragon. More damage to Mike's face. A dream card generated. Mike has got the swipe, but is it going to be much use? He's considering it. Uses it to take care of the Azure. And Rena Jackson is on the field.
Well played.
To fully heal Mikematrix up. That was
My thanks to you.
quite a big play there from Mike. Using one of the new League of Explorers card to basically heal himself up completely.
Is someone injured?
Norshire Cleric has gone down. Lesser heal heals up the Guardian, draws Agtheo a card. Powered Shield gives it more health and draws a card. Unfortunately does not trigger the Cleric's ability because it doesn't count as a healing. Jax is off the field, but then so are 2 of Agtheo's creatures.
Quickly.
And Ysera generates another dream card. Mike is still in it, but how much longer can he last? Lotheb on the field will make it much harder for Agtheo to play any spells, and there are quite a handful in there. Choosing to chip away at the Guardian. What is Agtheo going to play now? Full 10 mana. Does a heal first to draw a card. 8 mana to play with. There's definitely quite a few cards that Agtheo could consider. Could even play some of his spells if he wanted to. Instead, chooses to play the Blackwing Corruptor, which manages to get off its 3 damage. Lotheb is off the field. Wormrest Agent on the field gets its buff and the taunt. And a dream card generated. Oh, a mind control tech.
Engaging TC-130 mental dislocator.
Probably not the creature he wanted to grab.
Natural mistake.
And he's not
My
happy about
apologies.
that. I love Hearthstone emote banter. It's just it's not really something you're ever told about. It's something you just sort of learn as you play. Mike armors up.
Is someone injured?
Another Northshire Cleric comes down. heal happens, which means that Mike can now draw cards as well. Something that Agtheo seems to actually have forgotten. Twilight Drake on the field gets quite a health buff. A Laughing Sister, also now on the field, cannot be targeted by spells or hero powers. Agtheo gets another dream card. The Innovate, not exactly what Mike needs. And Mike concedes! There we go, 2-0 to Agtheo. Agtheo has won this match. So, yeah. So it's quite the upset there. Mike, of course, did very well in the last Mike, of course, did very well in the last tournament, and unfortunately has gone out at the semi-final. So that means that Agtheo is going to be doing well. Agtheo's in the final, but first we're going to have the bronze match, which will take place for us to determine third place. And yeah, that's going to be Mike versus Zio. So do stay tuned for that. Of course, during the break we'll have some music from the station at www.Sanitarium.FM. So stay tuned for the third place match, and then after that stay tuned for the final. It promises to be absolutely flipping amazing. So yeah, don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned to us.